This video is not intended to prepare personnel to implement ventilation changes without the assistance of a qualified industrial hygienist or healthcare ventilation engineer. Welcome back. This is video 4 in our Project First Line series on how to create negative pressure rooms and areas in healthcare facilities that need to add permanent or temporary capacity for patients with known or suspected infectious diseases. In the last 2 videos, we discussed considerations for retrofitting rooms from positive or neutral pressure to negative pressure. We covered exhausting the air directly outside, which is the best option, and exhausting HEPA-filtered air to the adjacent corridor, which is the second best option. However, sometimes these 2 methods aren't an option. For example, when the room or area is part of a building suite, or when there are adjacent areas that are permitted by the Life Safety Code to be open to the corridor, such as a waiting room, exhausting air directly outside or to the corridor may not be possible. As outlined in the ASHE guidelines, in these situations, you will want to consider the third best option, pulling the air out of the room and exhausting it through a HEPA filter into the building's HVAC return ductwork with a positive pressure fan. However, there are several reasons this is one of the least favorable options for retrofitting an area to negative pressure. Ducted HVAC systems have fans that are sized for the supply and return requirements of the spaces they serve. Adding a positive pressure fan in a room and tying it into the room's HVAC return ductwork increases the airflow and pressure. This can change the air balance of the entire system, including at the individual room level. This increase in return airflow can also overwhelm the discharge and return mixing box dampers, decreasing the total volume of outside air being brought into the building. ANSI ASHRAE Standard 170, which is the code for ventilation of healthcare facilities, bases the minimum total outside air requirement at the individual room level on the outside air changes per hour. A decrease in the code minimum required outside air volume will cause an increase in carbon dioxide levels. This may lead to occupant drowsiness and headaches, and even increase the likelihood of clinical mistakes, which can have life-altering effects in a hospital setting. The HVAC system can typically be rebalanced, but it is time-consuming and requires carefully planning engineering calculations and operational considerations, such as what to do with the patients in that area of the hospital while the rebalancing is in process. Additionally, the inside of ductwork is not completely smooth, and over time, dust, dirt, and germs gather and settle on inside surfaces of ductwork, particularly at joints and bends. The increased airflow and pressure created by connecting a positive pressure fan to existing return ductwork will disrupt particles that have settled over time. Without proper planning, this increase in airflow and pressure will push the dust, dirt, and germs into other rooms connected to the HVAC system. Hospitals operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days, year after year, which adds to the difficulty of cleaning ductwork. During the duct cleaning process, particles are disrupted and may increase the total particle count in all areas served by the HVAC system. To keep vulnerable patients safe, they must be relocated from all areas served by the HVAC system being cleaned to a separate area of the hospital. Despite these challenges, sometimes connecting to the HVAC system return is the only option when retrofitting a room or space to negative pressure. Risk analysis and proactive mitigation strategies, such as air sampling and cultures, are key to retrofitting a space successfully. Exhausting the air when retrofitting a room to a negative pressure room, area, or space is very challenging, and it is always worth creating a multidisciplinary team to explore all options. In our next video, we will look at options for HVAC systems that serve multiple rooms.